Hey guys, this is the Advanced Unit 11.1 notes. We are going to start by writing down the learning target. You can pause the video and write that down, but basically we're just going to describe the properties of all of these polygons right here, and we will find the missing interior angles, but also the exterior angles as well. I didn't write that down. I probably should. Interior and exterior. Go ahead and add that. So lucky you, these are already all written down for you, and it's just simply like three-sided shape is a triangle, four-sided quadrilateral, which we just did an entire unit on that, so hopefully you remember that word. And then it goes all the way through, but you can read, so I will let you read that. Some of the key vocabulary terms that you will be looking at are things like concave and convex. When I think of concave, I think of caves in. So concave shapes, they cave in. So you can see each one of these has at least one part of the shape where it caves in towards the shape, where the convex shapes always point out. So like each one of these vertices is going to point away from the center. Okay, so you can kind of think of it like that. So those are some words that you'll hear over the unit. And then regular and irregular, you'll hear that a lot as well. Like, for example, regular, the entire 11.2 section is over regular polygons. So you will see this word a lot, and basically it just means that, I'm going to take my highlighter here, the sides are congruent, the angles are congruent. That's what's important, and also that it is convex. It cannot be concave and regular. Those do not go together. And then irregular is basically just, it does not follow the patterns of a regular polygon. So it can be concave or convex, just the sides aren't all congruent. All right, that was a very quick first page. This is mostly just a reference page for you. Let's move on to the next one. The sum of the interior angles are measured of an n-sided polygon, and you're going to see this let me get this on the screen, that would be helpful. You're going to see this n a lot, the letter n, and that always stands for the number of sides. So let's go ahead and write that in under here. N equals number of sides. Like not only in this section, but throughout this unit, you will see the letter N, and it always stands for the number of sides. And then I want you to take your highlighter and I want you to highlight this formula, because this is something you will need. This is also located on your formula chart that is in the front of your packet. But this is the sum of the interior angles. So let's also highlight that, the sum of the interior angles. That's what that is. Okay, so essentially all you're doing is counting the sides and plugging it in. And I have 100% faith that you can do that. So 180 times n minus 2. I'm going to go ahead and write the formula, and then we'll fill in the number of sides below. The number of sides, it's a triangle. It is 3. So 180 times 3 minus 2, but when you subtract 3 minus 2, it's just 1. So check it out. This is something that you already know because it's geometry, and that's what we talk about the entire first semester. That number 180 degrees, it's the sum of the interior angles of a triangle. So let's bump it up one more side. We have 180 equals n minus 2 is our formula. We're going to plug in 4 sides. So 5 minus 2. So it's going to be 108, or my goodness, did I just put 5? I think I was looking at the pentagon. I did. Let's erase that. 4 minus 2, there we go, that's better. So 180 times 2 will simply be 360. And next, let me zoom that in a little bit, make it bigger for you guys. Next, we have this pentagon. So I would suggest pausing the video right now and trying this one on your own, and then playing it again in order to see the answer, just to make sure that you have the right idea of what's going on. Okay, and hopefully you paused it and you got the same answer of 540. But that is just the gist of it. That is the sum, meaning I take all of these angles and I add them all up together and I get 540 for a pentagon, 360 for this quadrilateral, and 180 for this triangle. All right, on to the next one. So yes, we always have to add in some algebra. And I'm going to go ahead and edit these. These little plus signs are the tiniest things in the world. Those are not little multiplication signs. They are plus signs. So go ahead and edit that on your notes as well right now because it's kind of hard to see. And then I want you to notice we've already done the work for this, but the first step is to always figure out what is the total sum or all of the angles added together for the shape you have. In this case, you have a pentagon, which I will point this out. When you're counting the sides of the shape, obviously these are pretty simple because it's a 3, 4, and 5-sided shape, but sometimes you will get shapes that are like 10, 11, 12 sides long. So I would suggest putting little tick marks and counting, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or even doing this where it's you write the number on each side until you get all of the sides marked, and then the largest number is going to be your side length. I would suggest doing that because when you get large shapes, you can miscount and then, oh man, you get it wrong. So just make sure that you are marking the shape in some way. Okay, we have a 5-sided shape, which we already did the work, so I'm not going to do it again. But 540 is going to be the sum of all of these angles added up together. So I need to take these 5 angles here, add them all up, and set them equal to this 540. So let me do that real quick. 3x minus 5 is my first angle, and then I'm just going to cross it out so I don't write it again. And then x plus 10 is my next one. And then 4x plus 8 is my next one. 12x, oh goodness, running out of room. Am I going to be able to fit it? And the last one is 6x plus 7. I'm going to have to use a little bit of white out. It's all good. And all of this is going to equal 540. All right, just act like that's not there. Whew, that's a lot going on. But if you notice, there is a lot of things that match on the same side of the equation. So we can just simply combine like terms. So I'm going to underline all the ones with x's. And I'm going to put a box around all of the ones, all of just the numbers. So that when I combine like terms, I don't get them mixed up. So we've got 3x plus x is going to be 4, plus 4 is 8, plus 18, we're going to have 26x. And then when we add these together, negative 5 and 10 is positive 5, 13, and 20. Great, and then our next step will be just subtracting 20 on both sides. 26x equals 520. And then when you divide 26 on both sides, you get 20. All right, and then moving on. Okay, this is kind of just the conceptual idea. It doesn't have the example yet. We'll go to page 3 when we get to that. But the important parts that you need to highlight is just the fact that the sum of the exterior angles is going to be 360. So the sum of the exterior angles, 360. So no matter how many sides that the shape has, they will always add up to 360. Crazy, right? There's a couple strategies that you can use to solve for this. One of the strategies is if you have the interior angles, and this is for a regular polygon that this works. If you have the interior angles, you can find the linear pairs to find the exterior angles. So if you look at how all these are drawn, it's just you take the sides and you extend the line each time, and it creates these exterior angles. So the shape looks kind of crazy. But these are the interior and exterior angles will always be linear pairs. Or the other step that you can do for a regular polygon only would just be 360 divided by the number of sides. But that's only for a regular polygon. Okay, so just make sure you pay attention to if it's regular or not. And then let's go to the third page and let's go ahead and do that exterior angle example while our minds are on exterior angles. So I'm going to write equals 360 because the sum of all of these is going to be 360. It does not matter the number of sides. So we are going to solve for x, and I'm just going to work backwards so I don't run out of room. 48 plus 36 plus 64 plus 60 plus 2x. So I went ahead and combined those. And then I will combine these like terms. 60 plus 64 plus 36 plus 48. Oh, maybe I should take that out. So that's going to be 208 when we add all of those together. So 2x plus 208 equals 360. So 360 minus 208 is going to be 152. And when we cut that in half, we're going to get 76. So that is the bottom of page, well, I don't know exactly what page it is, but the third page. All right, and then we're going to move back up to the top. And I'm going to run through this. It says to find the measure of one angle of the indicated regular polygon. So if you think about it, the formula is 180 times n minus 2. But if we only want one of the angles, you take the sum and then you divide the sum by the number of sides, right? So if I have an 8-sided shape, I want to find all the angles added up together and to divide it by the number of sides. And this only works for regular polygons. So this will find one angle of the indicated regular polygon. All right, let's plug in what we need. 180 times 8 minus 2 divided by 8. And then you just want to plug those numbers in. 180 times 8 minus 2. And then divide the whole thing by 8. Oh, goodness. I have a rogue 0 in there. And then you end up with 135. Okay, so I want you to pause the video and I want you to do the other one. I hope you're able to see all that. If you weren't, I apologize. Take some time to look at that now. But pause it and do this one on your own. And when you unpause it, I'll have it worked. Put the wrong number in. Yeah, just make sure you don't divide it by 2. I see that mistake quite often. It's going to be 156. So the greater the number of sides, the larger this number will be. There's a little hint for you as you work problems like this. All right, let's look at these down here. It says the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a convex polygon is given. This is the sum. Now we want to figure out how many sides the polygon has. Okay, so remember our formula is 180 times n minus 2, and then it tells us that the answer to that is 900, and we want to work backwards. So the first thing you always want to do is divide by 180. So 900 divided by 180 is going to be 5. And the biggest mistake I see for this is people just look and they think, oh, it's a pentagon. Nope, it's not, because it's n minus 2 equals 5. So we must then add 2 on both sides. So n is going to be 7. This is actually a heptagon. or a 7-sided shape. And if you don't know the names of the shapes yet, just look on the first page. It's got it there for you. All right, and then same thing, just pause and do this one on your own. Oh, my bad. This should be. So divide by 180 on both sides. And minus 2 equals 16. We're going to add 2 on both sides. It's going to be an 18 gon, because we have not named any of them over 12. Alright. So now it says classify the regular polygon if one of its angles is the following. And then if you notice up here, we use this formula for one angle. So we're going to use that again. 180 times n minus 2 divided by n. And that's going to equal 108. My goodness, I keep mixing these numbers up. All right, we're going to multiply by n on both sides because I hate fractions. So it's going to get rid of our n. 108n. There we go. Then I'm going to distribute this 180. 180n minus 360 equals 108n. And then subtract 108 or 180 n on both sides. So it's actually going to be negative 72n. So 360 equals negative 72n. So n is going to be 5. So our shape is going to be a pentagon. All right, and then same thing, pause this and solve the next one. And then check your answer. So I'm just following the same steps over here. So 360 divided by 36 is just going to be 10. So this is a okay, and then this is just another example that's very similar to this example right here. So the number of sides for this is 6 sides. So I want you to find the number of find the sum of the interior angles, set them equal, and then solve. And I'm going to pause my video, and I want you to pause it as well. And then I'm going to show the answer in just a little bit, okay? You get to listen to some music at the end of this video. Add them all together, set them equal to 720. Combine like terms, solve for x, you get 90.